Hi everyone, in today's video we'll be doing 5 under 50. That's right, in today's video we're taking a look at 5 items that every photographer should have under $50. Now, quick disclaimer, this video is for people that are beginning photography or want to get into it. Now, anybody can pick up a camera, put it on auto mode and take a great picture. The problem is that's not what makes you a good photographer. The idea is you develop your own style, your own look, and you explore with different techniques. And that's what really sets you apart. And so with even a cheap camera, you can get great quality images or very stylistic images. For example, I'm assuming a lot of you have this type of camera or getting this type of camera. This is a T3i from Canon. Now you could probably pick them up used for about $200-300. Back then it was a bit more expensive. I mean, mine, I put a little battery grip on top of it, but basically it's just a great little camera to have and it gives you great quality, especially for the price. So a camera like this is probably your best bet if you're starting out. And all the little things that I'm going to show you today are going to be things you can add to this kit to just make it better. Now, first thing you'll need is a good lens. And when I say a good lens, I'm not talking about a super expensive lens necessarily. You're going to want to get something just better than that kit lens that you get with a camera. Most of you will get something like this, right? Which is an 18-55. It's 3.5 to 5.6 aperture. So it's really not that great for light. And it's also not that great for shallow depth of field. It's not super sharp. I mean, this particular one has a stabilization, but it's just a very basic lens to have. And I mean, it gets the job done for most things, but you really want to push forward and have something a little bit better, especially when you explore different styles. And that's when the nifty 50 comes in. And you've probably heard of this. This is the 50mm lens. A lot of different companies have it. I'm particularly shooting with Canon, so this is the nifty 50 from Canon. And basically this one has an f1.8 of aperture. And that's really key with this lens, is that gives you a very shallow depth of field. And so you're able to get that really cool depth of field look, you know, that bokeh that they call. And so that's the idea with this lens. It's also super sharp, especially if you put it at f4. I found it's a really good lens to have. You can do manual focus and autofocus, and it's just a really great lens all around to have. Now, another thing that people kind of overlook, or even if they have, they just forget to use, is a tripod. I mean, it sounds basic, but like a little cheap tripod is huge. This particular one, I think, is under $20, and you can pick this up on Amazon for brand new. And the idea with this is you can get a really stable shot, really great looking shot, and then you can explore with different techniques, especially with things like slow shutter speeds, and where you get that light glow, or that, you know, you want to play with lighting. These are the tools that you'll need. You'll need a tripod for sure, because you'll crank that shutter speed super low, and, you know, any movement in the camera will show. So this is a great tool to have, and trust me, you will not regret having a tripod, even if it's a cheap one. Well, the next item has different variations of it. Basically, it's a camera strap. Now, camera probably comes with one of those neck straps. You know, it goes around your neck, you strap it to the camera, and the camera kind of hangs here. I don't particularly like them. I find them kind of annoying, and they never just fall at the right place, and it's just your camera's there and it always gets knocked by some things and whatever. I don't like them. I've decided to take them off all my cameras. Now, there's different things you can do to add them, because that's important to have, you know, good stability on your camera. And especially if you're shooting events, something like this will be key. And this is basically a shoulder strap. And so you just put this over yourself like this, hook it to your shoulder, and voila, you have a strap for your camera. So you can hook your camera up right here. And then when you take your pictures, you could just bring down your camera and it just hangs on the side. And this is much more comfortable, I find, than the neck one, because the neck is kind of annoying here, and it, you know, it's itchy, it's scratchy, whatever. And so having this is more comfortable, and especially if you're shooting with 2 cameras during events, you can take the pictures with this one, let it hang, pick up your second body and just shoot. So this is a really, really cool strap. I think you pick them up for like $10 on Amazon. So this is really interesting. I'll put the links all below. Another one is going to be the hand strap. So you can just slide your hand here, and this one's attached to the battery grip. And so you can just, you know, take pictures, and then your camera is still safe. So that's a really good one too. You have also wrist straps, so you hook it up and you can, you know, strap it around your wrist. There are other neck straps that are more comfortable as well, so you can definitely check those out. But basically, something to have more security around your camera and stability, because this actually helps with stability if you're shooting handheld one hand. this is really useful for stability. So definitely something you should take a look at. Now my next item is a reflector. This is one of those 5-in-1 reflectors, and so the idea with this is on one side you have a white reflector, the other side you have a gold reflector. Inside you have a diffusion, so this is basically almost see-through, but just basically blocks a little bit of light and makes it more diffuse. Then you have a black side and you have a silver side. And so these ones basically allow you to bounce the light. So the gold one will bounce a goldish light. This will basically bounce a bit more light. So I have one source of light here. It comes through this side of my face. It's quite dark. I just add this and you see it just brightens that whole image. You can do this with the white side. Same thing with the gold side. That's just a goldish color. And then the silver, same thing. The black is actually to block out light. And of course the diffusion you put in front of your light. So the one that's kind of see-through, and that just allows you to shoot light through it, and it just kind of smooths it out. And that's actually what I'm using here. So that's why the light is smoother and I don't have a very hard shadow on my face. So definitely pick up one of these. You can pick up a reflector for around $15 brand new on Amazon. But if you don't want to spend the extra few dollars, or if you just need something really quick, foam boards. These do pretty much the same thing, to be honest with you. They're a bit less practical because you can't fold them down, but the white ones just allow you to fill that light beautifully, just like I showed you, and you can cut them, you can shape them, you can do whatever you want. Same thing with the black one, and the black one just blocks out light. So for example, I have my light source here. So let's say I just want some light around my eyes. And that's it. And it allows you to shape light the way you want to get that look. You can cut these, which is really interesting. You can't do with the reflectors. And I think 2 of these cost me $1 at the dollar store. So you can pick up a whole stack of them and do whatever you want. Do the little booths for like a photo shoot, product photos, whatever. These are key to have around the studio. The next item, you can probably find some much more expensive versions, but you can definitely find some used ones under 50, and that is an external flash. This particular one was actually one of my first flashes. It was the 430EX2 from Canon, and it's just a great little speed light. It's a great little flash because it gives you the capacity of having an external light source that's controlled and very powerful. And you'll be surprised how much more powerful these are than most cheap continuous light sources. This is just going to allow you to shape light differently, create different styles. You can bounce it off the wall. You can, you shine it through one of those reflectors I just showed you, or one of those bounce boards that you cut. And so you can do a lot of things with these little lights. And the idea is you have something that's off the camera. And so that's why when you pick one of these up, you also get a transmitter receiver system, and these are really cheap as well. For like probably around $10 you can pick up a receiver and a transmitter, and you put this on your camera, this on your flash, and basically it just tells the camera, it tells the flash when the camera is shooting, and so that the flash can fire at the same time, because obviously it needs to be super synchronized. So these are really, really handy to have, and you can even pick up those Chinese knockoffs on Amazon for really cheap. So definitely a great purchase to have for any starter photographer, especially for studio pictures, for product photography. You definitely need a flash. Well, that was it. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to let you guys know that I started a podcast also on the side. It's called The Gray Zone Podcast. And so the link will be below, but basically it's a podcast about journalistic research. And what we do is we kind of find out different mysterious facets of our everyday world, things that kind of happen behind the scenes. And so we try to kind of shed light on them and uncover hidden secrets. Dale actually produced a lot of the breakaway glass for Hollywood films and big TV productions.
You name it, pretty much anything done here in Vancouver, we've done it all. From Stargate to Blade to, Superman to Turner and Hooch, which we're doing now.
Definitely go check it out. Link is below, and it's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. On that note, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the section below. And hey, I'll see you next time. Peace!